Back to the channel. My name is Ryan. My hair looks horrible today, so we got this on right now. So, this week college football is by far the biggest week of the year. So far, it is going to be humongous for the future implications of the sport, of how the season is going to play out. It has everything you could possibly want. Set your times, set everything you got to do on Saturday, and put it to the side, because you're going to be watching football this entire day, I tell you that. But going into this, we have Friday, which actually has important matchups. We'll get into the rest later on. Florida State playing at Virginia. I think everyone knows how that's going to play out. Florida State will probably dominate this one. It probably won't be close. We'll see what happens. They've been running through pretty much every team so far this year. Next up, 24th ranked TCU playing at Arizona State. This will be a close game. I got Arizona State winning this one. I believe TCU's been at a very high level. I believe Arizona State has that ability to win a big game when they really, really need to. I know they lost Mississippi State. A lot of stuff happened in that game that really did not go in their favor, and they did not really take care of business when they absolutely had to. I believe that after the win against Baylor, they have learned how to do that, and they will continue to do so and go at home and beat TCU, because that's a very tough place to play at Arizona State is no joke. And then we have a weird matchup here. USC going up to play Illinois. Illinois coming off getting absolutely whooped by Indiana to the highest of degrees. 53-point beatdown is unacceptable on every level. Because of that, Illinois will lose at home, probably by double digits. This team sucks. I don't believe Indiana's a top 5 team. I believe they're top 10, but you should not lose to a top 10 team by 53 points. So USC has the potential to become a top 15 team. I love Maya Miava, or however you say his guy's name. Dude's really, really good in my opinion at USC. He fits that system a lot better in my opinion than the quarterbacks that played at USC before. He already has pretty much a year under his belt playing last year. He has played at a very good level. Defense so far has been a bit iffy, especially on big plays and against mobile quarterbacks. Illinois does not have incredible mobility. They will probably lose. I got USC to win this one. Next up, Notre Dame, 22nd ranked, 22nd ranked in the country against Arkansas. At Arkansas, Arkansas has lost in heartbreaking fashion. So has Notre Dame. But Notre Dame has lost to very good teams. And Arkansas has lost to Ole Miss. Not bad at all. They're pretty good. We'll talk about them later. But to Memphis, both games they had control of. Notre Dame had control of one of those games that they ended up losing. This game's weird. I think Jeremiah Love will be huge, because I don't think they've had to play a great run game yet. In the one they kind of are for Arkansas, and the one they kind of did, Memphis ran right through them. So I have a feeling this game will be close late, because both teams just seem to do that. And if it's close late, give me Notre Dame. Just give me Notre Dame. I don't see a world that Arkansas wins a close game, unless they play us, Tennessee, somehow, which that's not going to happen. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, we do. What's up in Neyland? Which is not going to be close. We will win that one. But anyways, Georgia Tech, 16th ranked in the country against Wake Forest. Georgia Tech will win this one. Again, be comfortable. Take these predictions and bring them to Vegas. Bring them to your gambling sites. Trust me, I'm never wrong. Utah State versus Vandy. Vandy's going to win that one. Auburn versus A&M. This is interesting. Big plays have been going in A&M's favor this year. Not a lot of big plays allowed last week for Oklahoma, who had possibilities of explosive offense. I don't believe Jackson Arnold will make the plays. If you don't perform well at Oklahoma, I could only assume what happens when you play at Kyle Field. Oklahoma gets loud. Kyle Field might be the loudest. It's top 3. So, and they have a lot of hope. I believe A&M will win this game. I believe Auburn shall lose. And it'll be a close one. I think it'll be close into the 4th, and then A&M will hit a big shot or two, or a big turnover happens, and it pushes back. It'll be like 34-20. But it would be really like a 24-20 game, and until a big play really breaks in their favor. Ohio State versus Washington. A lot of people are calling it upset possibility here. People are calling it really close. The betting line is 8.5. I love Williams. I think he's really good. Washington, he's played some solid teams, kinda balled out in their bowl game. They have a good offense. Their defense is a bit iffy. Ohio State's going to beat them by at least 2 touchdowns. I give the score 34-14. A lot of people are calling this game going to be really close. I know it's tough to play at Washington. Ohio State, do we not remember what they kind of did to Texas? I know Texas is not a great offense, but they pretty much shut them out the entire game until the 3-minute mark of that game. That says a lot. That really says a lot. And their incredible red zone abilities to stop people in the red zone is carried over from last year. That's going to be a big thing. Can Washington convert in the red zone? Because if they can't, they have no shot. I don't think they're going to be able to. I got Washington losing this one by a decent amount. I think Julian Sain's very good. I like Ohio State. And Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator, has NFL-level schemes that he can throw up because he has NFL-level players that a young quarterback will never have seen before. So it's tough for me to say Ohio State's going to go in and just lay an egg. I got them winning by... I got the score being 34-14. I got Ohio State on the blowout. Next up, number 4, LSU. This is part of the big 3-game slate tonight. Number 4th ranked LSU playing against 13th ranked Ole Miss. I don't know why LSU is ranked this high. I said it before. I think Ole Miss is a bit underrated. I think LSU is the most overrated team in the NCAA, in my opinion, especially in the top 25. Outside of maybe like Illinois and like Notre Dame, but like in the top 20, extremely overrated. Why? What do we credit them for? Defense, right? Who have they played? Clemson. Troy looked great against them defensively. What does that show? That Troy can score on Clemson pretty well. Syracuse walks them down at Clemson very easily. Georgia Tech can score on them, but LSU had a lot of trouble. And LSU had some very bad coaching decisions when they could have scored. Could have had a field goal in the half, didn't do it. And that will pop up more effectively in the Ole Miss game. They played Florida. Is anyone in the world saying Florida's offense is good? They've not scored 20 points in the last 3 games. And LSU scored 20 points on Florida, right? There were 5 picks, and you scored 20 points. One of them was a pick 6, and one of them pretty much guaranteed you a field goal opportunity. You maybe had 10 points you scored using 3 interceptions in your favor. And just only scored 10 points? 10? You're supposed to be a power up front team. Miami did that. Miami weared them down at one point. They should have dropped 30 on them, but the refereeing was a bit weird. I just don't believe in this offense. They scored 20 in like Lafayette, on Louisiana Tech. The only good performance was against like Southern, it wasn't even that. It's a terrible school for football. I just don't see this team offensively making a jump up. And they can't run the ball. Ole Miss defense can't stop the run. These are both movable objects, and none of them are good. I don't think Garrett Nussmeier is that great. He's shown to make bad interceptions, especially against A&M last year and against Alabama in big moments. This game has been really close back-to-back years. I think last year Ole Miss lost a lot of times because of their aggressiveness. Went against them. Learn to take the points. I know it might be tough. There's a lot of flames this game based off some off the field stuff. Based off like Lane Kiffin's daughter dating a player at LSU who's a starting linebacker. Ooh. So, I believe LSU will lose this game. I got Ole Miss winning this, probably 27-17. I know that sounds like a lot. Ole Miss is going to give up some runs. They're bound to. LSU might have a drive or two that's really, really good. They'll probably force a turnover. Trinidad Chambliss is phenomenal. And I think if anyone's going to get a team prepared to play LSU, it's going to be Lane Kiffin. LSU would be Lane Kiffin. He knows how to move offenses. Chambliss has made some really, really good passes. We're talking about no pressure and wise and all that. The passes he has made is very, very rare to see from a backup quarterback. Extraordinarily rare. So I'm excited to see how he plays out. I believe he's really, really good. If Austin Simmons plays too, mix both together, makes it really tough. I really just don't trust Brian Kelly in a big game. We completely forget after the win against Clemson, that was a big game. Clemson is 1-3 right now and 0-2 in ACC play. Let's understand that. I know at the time they were ranked top 10. Granted, Illinois was just ranked top 10 too. Do you think that's a great win for Indiana? If we look back in 3 weeks and Illinois hasn't won a game, is that a great win still? Who knows? So, we'll see what happens, but I believe Ole Miss is going to win, and they're going to win by a decent margin. Indiana goes to Iowa. This is upset just written all over it. Iowa actually has a bit of an offense. They have a great punt returner. Their special teams is very, very good, and they capitalize when they get off when their defense makes plays. Problem is, the defense has not made a lot of plays this year. They have one forced turnover, I believe, so far. That's not great. But they kept games close. They'll probably keep this one close. That's at Iowa. Kirk Cincinnati is very, very good. I believe they will win this game, but there will be a lot of maybe a missed throw here, maybe a pick here, a fumble here. There will be a big return. There will be a lot of adversity that they're going to have to fight against in this game. And I'm interested to see how they're going to react to it. I believe Indiana is a better team than they were last year, and they went 11-1. I got faith in Kirk Cincinnati. I got them winning this game. My Vols head down to play Mississippi State down in Starksville. 4-0 Mississippi State. Phenomenal win against Arizona State. And we're coming off a loss to Georgia. I know we played against UAB last week. But we get Jackson Moy coming back. I trust this offense to start off hot. I'm interested in seeing how Mississippi State could bounce back from that, because if we can score 3 straight times on Georgia, I bet we can score a couple straight times on Mississippi State. Just saying. I like Jeff Lebby. I think he's a good coach. But I got the Vols winning here. I think the point is like 8.5 right now. I believe Tennessee will get an early lead and make the big plays when you really need to, just to push it out more. Nothing against Mississippi State. Tennessee's been in this moment a little bit more than they have. Jamal Heupel has too. He'll be more aggressive at the right times. Put them away. I believe Tennessee will win this game. I give the score 38-27. This game will be kind of close, but not close enough to make much of a difference. It's going to be kind of like that Syracuse game. Start off hot, kind of close. Syracuse tries to push back. You make a play, keep them away. Tennessee gets a late game touchdown. Fully extends it. I got Tennessee win this one, probably by 11. Good effort. They'll put it by Mississippi State. I don't see them winning this game right now. Maybe next year, 2 years from now. Not right now. Arizona playing against Iowa State. I got Iowa State winning that one. And now here comes the two big ones tonight. Oregon, 6th ranked in the country, travels up to play Penn State. Penn State, under James Franklin, is 4-20 against top 25 teams, losing the last 14. Wow, that's bad. And Dan Lanning just beat Ohio State last year. So, what does this mean? I don't trust Penn State. Dante Moore, I know, is very new. But Dan Lanning has been in these moments multiple times, either at Georgia and at Oregon. He's done this before. He's not had to go to play Penn State, but he's had to play in these moments before as a head coach, in many different situations. James Franklin, this is a must-win. You cannot lose this game, bro. And I know we talk about him and like, they kind of like the same idea of he gets that big win. Could it be like how Jim Harbaugh got his big win beating Ohio State? Big problem with that is that you look at that with Jim Harbaugh, you saw a lot of like, okay, close game here, close game there. And then like they were 11-0, they were like 10-1 heading into that game, and they got it to work, and he felt like it was going to work, and there's an identity shown there, and they could capitalize on the red zone, and it was boom. We don't know with Penn State because they haven't played anyone. We have not seen them play at a high level against any team yet because they've not had to. They've not hit a deep ball. No pass. They've 2 for 9. Drew Aller is on passes 20 yards or more. That's not good. And Oregon has just flattened every team they've played. I know they've not played a lot of great talent. It's a bit better than what Penn State's played. But Penn State scored like 30 when Oregon's scoring 69 points. I like Oregon's offense. I like their explosiveness. I believe the run game will be huge for Penn State. They have to get that to work. But Aller will have to make big throws. And until I see him do it in a game before then, I don't see this happening. I got Oregon winning this game. Give me 27-20. Give me the points. Give me Oregon. And now we have the big game of the night. 2 of the big games of the night. My personal favorite game of the day. As a guy who's from South Tennessee, you are in a triangle of Tennessee, Bama, Georgia. This is how it is. You're in that triangle. And you got Georgia playing at home against the University of Alabama. And this is wild, in my opinion, because Bama has won like 9 out of the last 10 games against them. Like, they have completely owned Georgia. But Georgia's won 33 straight at home. As someone who has watched their team play at Georgia, they can wear you down mentally and physically. Someone who just played them a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I was up at that game. Gunnar Stockton can hit the big ball. He can hit the deep ball. He can hit the big pass. Problem is, though, I believe Bama probably has a bit of better pass rushers on the outside. And that right tackle for Georgia looks very sketchy. They don't have that. You cannot run right and be effective in this game unless if that position is filled. Unless if you have a fullback or something back there, which they really don't use. It's just one back. Usually you got Frazier, you got Cash Jones, you got other very good players. But how do you get them involved? How do you get Zachariah Branch involved? How do you get London Humphreys involved? Zachariah Branch, usually you got him in the bubble screens. Bubble screens weren't that effective last year against Alabama. If anyways, there was some miscommunication and led an interception. Screens were not the way you came back. It was attacking their corners deep, which is how Bama's should be able to beat y'all. Because you're so focused on Ryan Williams. What happens if Bernard keeps getting open on these 10, 15-yard deep outs? You got corner routes, you got in routes, you got all these things. And then you get Ryan Williams one-on-one. And you know what he can do. And you saw what Chris Brazzell could do. Chris Brazzell was not on anyone's radar until they just kept throwing him all one-on-one. And he could cook anyone he played one-on-one. You already have the mental advantage if you're Alabama. Ryan Williams has done that before to them. And everyone knows it. That's a mental advantage. It's going to be a blackout game. That's tough to beat. I remember a game before, though, that Bama, I think it was like 17 years ago. I was born when this happened. But that same thing, a blackout game happened at Georgia. Bama went down there at night and whooped them. Past 2 times they've played at the University of Georgia, Bama has utterly throttled Georgia. Was that with Saban? Yes. But that was not with his best teams either. 2008 did not win a title. 2015 had the best defense, but they scored 38 points. So, just to refresh all there, this team is not scared to go play Georgia. What I would be worried about, though, if you're a Bama fan, is that you cannot win on the road. You've lost to Oklahoma on the road. You've lost to Vandy on the road. You've lost to Florida State on the road. You've lost to Tennessee on the road. You lose a lot of road games. The only game you won was against LSU. What time was that? It was a night game. But how did you do that? You had a quarterback run. You have Jalen Milroe. You have Ty Simpson now. Ty Simpson's more surgical. He's been doing that recently. And if you give him time, he will make big plays. When you don't give him time, you will have the result that happened against Florida State. Question, though, in this game, in my opinion. Big question here. If he gets time, how do the Georgia corners react? Because 2 weeks ago, we saw one-on-one situations were complete failures. Little route schemes, the little bit trickery, were messing them up completely. And they were not getting pressure on Tennessee, and that proceeded to drop 38. If Bama gets 38, newsflash, they're winning this game. Their defense is not allowing all this. Their defense was really, really good after that Vandy game. And I'm interested they will respond the same way, like the Florida State game here. Will they have that situation happen? The Vandy game happened, and then they just played great the rest of the year. I know they lost 2 or 3 games, but it was not because of their defense. Will that happen this year? I do not know. They've played at a good level so far. This game, 2.5 points in Georgia's favor. I could see that going a lot closer. I could see this being a pick'em game pretty much. Which makes, like, if you look at this just objectively, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But get into the nitty gritty, get to the mental side of things. And Georgia fans will be worried if this game is close. If Bama goes down the field immediately and gets that touchdown, everyone's going to be worried. Because that's the same that happened to Tennessee. It was all that game played out. You have playmakers. You have Jam Miller. You have all that. But Jam Miller will be coming back. We'll see how he plays. But I will say this. I cannot underestimate what Gunnar Stockton can do. Gunnar Stockton made some of the best throws one in particular right in front of my face on that sideline to London Humphreys on 4th and 7. Perfectly thrown ball right into his hands down the field. That's a really, really tough ball. And that was the second time they attempted that the entire game. The other one was the first play they ran. This one was here. Like, that pass was perfect. You don't get that from people. And that was in the biggest of moments. I don't believe Georgia can sit there and overpower this team, but if I trust a guy making a big throw in a big moment in a big time situation, give me Gunnar Stockton. I got Georgia winning this game. I got the score being 31-27. Give me these Bulldogs. And I guess I'm taking the points. I guess I'm going to over, well, having them to cover these points too, I guess. But I can't just not trust Kirby Smart. But if there was a game I didn't, it'd be this one. A streak will end tonight. Will end that night. Bama beating Georgia, or Georgia win streak at home will come to an end. Both of the longest home streaks could come to an end that night. Washington at 22 and Georgia at 23. Washington's a very tough place to play at. I just think Ohio State's just that good. And Washington hasn't had to play anyone yet. They play Washington State. Like, okay. They deserve to be ranked. They deserve to have, like, I think they deserve to be ranked more than, like, BYU. Because they've played, like, Stanford. But, like, you know what I'm saying? I got faith in the Georgia Bulldogs. I got faith in the Ducks. I got faith in the Rebels. We shall see what happens. Hope you have a great day, y'all. Stay safe. Remember, God bless y'all.